Happy 4th of July, my fellow pyros. I'm here to show you how to make two things today. Can you guess what they are? This is a ground flower turned into an M80, and a ground flower turned into an Arial spark shower flying thingy. Goes about 20 feet in the air and emits showers like a shower in the downward position. It looks pretty cool, so we'll get some footage of that later in the video, but let's get started straight into it. You're going to need a couple things to do this. Of course, you're going to need a bag of ground flowers. You can purchase these at pretty much any fireworks stand in the United States where they're legal. You can get a single, you can get packs of 4, even bricks. They range anywhere from $1 for 4, sometimes cheaper, all the way up to $10 for a big old brick. You can make as many as you want. You can get crazy with it. Today we're just going to do a couple and then let you run with it. So, welcome. Alright, you're going to need a couple supplies. Besides the ground flower, you're going to need a blade or a pencil. Doesn't have to be a blade, it can be a pencil. You're going to need a pair of scissors. Very important piece. You're going to need a pair of pliers. Okay. You're going to need some duct tape, or excuse me, electrical tape. Alright, electrical tape. And if you'd like to make the process easier, a makeshift funnel. This was just a piece of paper that I rolled up, right? You can tape it, I stapled it. Basically, you just want it to create a hole that goes all the way through, and you'll see where this comes in a moment. So now that you have your supplies, we're going to get started. First, we're going to make the M80 out of a ground flower. For this particular project, you need 2. I've seen and I've done it in the past where you can do it with 1. Still loud with a report, but we're going to do 2 just so we can get that extra effect. And once you're done, it should look something like that. Alright, here we go. First things first, we're going to take the ground flower, okay, and we're going to, there's 2 ends, a hard end and a paper end. You're going to cut out the paper end. Inside, you can see there's a wall of clay or something, and then in the middle there's gunpowder, and then another wall of clay, right? See how it comes out? This is where the pliers come in play. You're going to take the pliers and liberally and gently and firmly at the same time, you don't want to squeeze too hard, you could damage the flower. You're going to just apply pressure as you turn it in a circle. You want to stay away from the hard end and primarily just work on the end that you opened. Okay? This is breaking up the powder. Okay? You're going to take the next ground flower. You're going to find the right end. That's the paper. Hard end. Paper end. Take the paper end. Cut it open. Take the pliers and do the same thing. You can feel it give as you squeeze. At first it's a little hard and then it becomes extremely easy to squeeze. Okay, now you have 2. 2 of which you have broken up, and if you look real closely in there, you can see it broken up, right? Might be a little hard to see, but it's in there. Now, we want to get this clay out first, because the clay does absolutely nothing. So we're going to gently tap. As you can see, it's coming out. And I've found that also rolling it helps evenly get it out, right? So we're rolling it. And what we're looking for is for the color to change. It's going to change to, like, see, there's a little bit of gray there, right? Getting better, it's getting lighter. And this one is pretty much there. Okay, now it's gray. See the gray coming out? We're going to set this one aside, and we're going to do the same thing here. See how rolling it helps? It's a lot easier because you don't accidentally over tap and lose it. So we're already to the gray in this one. That's the gold right there. That's the stuff you want. Let's just make sure, yeah, it's more of a fine powder. So now we have two that is just gray powder inside. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna take our funnel and we're gonna pick one. Which one do we want to use today? Before we go any further, you want to take this fuse and open it up so it's straight out of the side of the package. You see that? Do the same thing with this one. And let's pick the better of the two. I feel like the other one was better. What do you think? Which one should I go with? I feel like this one. So we're going to use this one. And basically we're going to take all the gunpowder in this one and we're going to put it in that one. So we're going to take our, set this down for a second. We'll take our funnel that we've created. See how I've got a little pinch? That's why I created it this way, is you can pinch it and hold the flour while you're doing it. And then we're going to tap and watch the gunpowder. Basically the whole contents. If you see it start to turn orange, you want to stop. That means you over squeezed the end you shouldn't have, which is the hard end. You want to leave that end hard when you're initially breaking up the powder so that it doesn't come out. Okay? Pretty much there, all there. A little bit more. Sometimes if you gently squeeze the flour as you're doing it, you'll get more. Alright, see what we're doing here? Checking every once in a while to make sure it's not orange. Okay, so now we remove the funnel, set that aside, and on the butt end, that's why I like the blade, because it's got a nice clean end, but you see the gunpowder in there? It's a lot easier to see. Want to get all that in there. Gently, don't pack it down fast. It fits perfectly inside. That's why a pencil also works. If you go too fast, it's going to shoot out the edges. And you just want to gently pack it down. Don't overdo it, because you could possibly make it explode. I don't think it would, but let's just practice being safe pyros. Right, so it's nice and packed down. Okay, and then what I do is I take a piece of paper, right? I just take a piece of paper, just a regular piece of paper, and I fold it. Okay? I fold it so it's about the width of the hole. And then fold it in half, like that. And then you take your scissors and you cut off the end and you stick this in the hole, just like that. This holds that gunpowder all nice and packed, right? Now here's the fun part, duct tape. Or I keep saying duct tape, electrical tape. Find the end, start by peeling an end of the electrical tape off, just like that. Cut a piece, so you have a piece like this, and we're just going to place this right over the end. We're going to pull it, get it nice and tight. Okay, you want to start creating that seal. The more liberal you are with the electrical tape and the tighter that it is, the louder the report is going to be. Then you go again, you basically crisscross it, right? So I have another piece here. I pull as I apply, okay? And I go all the way down. All right, so I went ahead and I did the same thing on both. So I went one way with the tape and then I went the other way with the tape, which basically created a seal, and I pulled it tight, okay? That way the gunpowder is in there. Remember, the piece of paper is in there holding the gunpowder down, and we have the fuse. You want to try and not mess with this fuse too much because you don't want it to not light and waste your time. So now take the electrical tape and you just start wrapping end to end. Right. And you're pulling as you're doing it. You're creating taut pressure because you don't want it to escape. And then you're going to turn it and roll the end about 5 or 6 times. Remember, watch out for the fuse. We'll mess it up. Okay. And we're going back over, and we're basically heading this way. You don't want any there it is. Same thing. Roll it. See how tight it is where the tape is like stretching? Now we want to roll down the firework and do it just right so that you get around the fuse. And you want to do the same thing. Be liberal with the tape. It always helps to have more is better, right? All back over. Finish it up. Take your scissors. Close it up. And you have an M80. And there you go. I would recommend children stay away from this. This is just a tutorial on how to do it, not to do it in areas that it's illegal, obviously as a disclaimer. Be safe, light it, and stand at least 50 feet back. Do not hold it in your hand, on your persons. Don't put it in a toilet. But now you've got 3 little fun things to get the neighbors' attention. I like to do these when it's time to light off the fireworks. This gets everybody to look in the general direction, bring the kids running. Hey, listen for the bang when you hear it. Come on, we're gonna do it. So there's this. Now, how about these? These are super easy, super fun, and takes you a fraction of the time to do it. And I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. Every ground flower comes with these little papers that are on the top of the wrapper, right? So you got the bag, and then it holds the ground flower inside, and then you have this piece of paper, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out similar to that wing. The bigger you make it, there's a fine line between too big and it doesn't work, and too small, it doesn't go very high. This is about medium. If I was to go about 20% bigger, it would go really high, but I don't want it to go really high in my neighborhood. There's a lot of dry brush. So you basically just start, right, and you cut around. If you know anything about fireworks, you've seen these types of things before. And you just go back, right? And it gives you 2. So now I got 2. Now you're thinking, well, why don't I put 2? I'm sure, well, you could, but then it goes too high. So if you want, you can add it. But for now, we're just gonna make 1. And this is very important how we do this. This stuff's pretty, you can even reuse it. If you can see where it landed, you can go pick it up, cut it off, retape it, and go about your business and add it to each one. So look carefully. We have the fuse sticking out. So basically it's gonna spin like this, right? It's gonna spin just like this. Now the fuse needs to be basically sideways and even a little down. So this one is a little off. You might want to put the fuse more like that, right? So that it kind of comes up. And with, see the airfoil? See how it's chopping upwards? So when it basically pushes the air down, which makes it go up, right? Just like that. So if it went the other way and this was turned that way, it wouldn't go up, it would just stay on the ground. So you want it to basically grab the air. See how there's about a 30 degree, and you can even bend this a little bit if you want, if you're not happy with it as you get better at it. Experiment with it, you'll see what I mean. So on this one, we're gonna copy it. So we have our fuse sticking out the side. Pull some of this paper off, we don't need that. All right. Except this one has already been used. Okay. So we're going to open up this one, pull the paper back so it's easier to see. All right. I love the smell of fireworks. So here's your ground flower. Short and simple. Nice fuse. See the way that it's poked, it's actually poked at an angle. It's not straight out. So what's going to happen is it's going to shoot kind of like that way, right? So what we want is to turn that to where it's basically sideways. You're going to take your electrical tape and you're going to cut 2 pieces. Well, you can start with 1. So we have 1 piece of electrical tape and we're going to cut that in half. Right? There's 1, there's 2. 2 pieces of electrical tape. Set 1 aside. Now here's what you do. Put the tape on one side and you tape it, just like that. See it? It just needs to be in the right position. Now, with the aerodynamics and the way things work, you want to make sure that it's going to grab and pull. So you want, what I like to do is hold the tape back with my finger, find the spot, which is about a 30-degree incline, right? And gently, like, while you're holding the incline, take the tape. See what we got? Kind of like a loose version, right? Now the easy part, it's a lot easier this way. Now that we've got it set, you're gonna go grab that other piece of tape and you're gonna put it along the back end, like so, and you're gonna just tape it down. And then you'll find that when you do it, it's very sturdy, right? Look, very sturdy. And there you go. You've got your spinning ground flower rocket bit that later at the end of this video you're going to see both in action. But just look very carefully. See the fuse? You see the angle? It's made to spin and grab and force the air down as it spins, kind of like a ceiling fan. Up it goes. Okay? I'll make a third one with 2 wings. Well, let's just add this wing to this one because that other piece is kind of cut out. So now, actually we'll do this one. So which way? That way or this way? Well, if you're looking at it and it's a ceiling fan, you want the propellers to be opposite each other, right? So that they spin. So same thing. Step 1, what? You get your tape, right? Pull it out. Step 2, cut yourself a piece of tape. This looks to be about 5 inches long, right? We're going to cut this tape in half. Okay. Step 3, put the tape on one side. So it looks like that. We'll set this piece here. Now we're going to take the flower and we're going to do the opposite way. So we want this one, remember we hold it back to find the spot, and you want it to be centered. Very important that it's centered for the weight distribution when it spins, and equal. There it is. Come around it, hold that over. Now we have, see it? now we still need one more piece of tape. So this is how you do it right. You don't just tape it, you fold it back completely. Completely back. Then you take your tape and you put the tape on while it's folded back. And then you fold it forward and pinch it. And I have, because I'm doing it while videoing, it's a little sloppy, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that extra tape off so it's cleaner. Come around to this side, do the same thing. After a while you'll get so good at it, it'll be perfect. You won't need to do this, but it's hard to do this and video at the same time. All right, so here you have it. Let's see which one does better at the end of the video. Which one do you think is gonna be better? Take your votes, put it in the comments section on which one. Now, as you get better, right, you can also make, you know, like on paper airplanes, you would fold the back to make it, you know, flip and stuff. You can change the attitude of these so that when they fly, they can climb faster or slower. But it's basically gonna spin, right, and spin up. And gravity, it's gonna be throwing the wings out to the edge. So the tape is really there to hold it steady, of course, but not. It's okay if it's a little loose because it's gonna spread itself out. So there you have it. You've got, in a matter of a few minutes, we made some M80s and out of a ground flower, as well as some spinning. I don't even know what you want to call these, spinning butterflies. They're really cool. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. 4th of July is today, and so if you've got some time and you caught this video, usually people have these left over in their garage. These are pretty old, from last year, because we just stopped using them. So you should have some sitting around. Go make these, have some fun with it, do it in a safe space, not where you know, there's dry grass and little kids running around that are trying to touch these things. And have some fun with it. I would greatly appreciate a subscription. If you like and share or even comment, it helps me know which videos are worthy of making. So here's your DIY ground flower M80 and hummingbird flying spark thingy hack. Take care, guys. Have a good one.